Welcome to the weekly Dear Dr. Mao. Today I would like to talk about how changing yourself now can change your future. That sounds logical, like changing the trajectory of a rocket. A small adjustment or a few shifts make an enormous difference in the end result. If you don't like where your life is now, you can decide where you want to be down the road by making changes to yourself today. However, in order to change yourself, you have to start with knowing yourself. The ancient Greek aphorism, Know Thyself, is the first and most famous of the 167 maxims inscribed in the stone at the entrance to the Temple of Apollo at Delphi, Greece. It is also known as the Delphic Maxims attributed to Apollo. Now, why is Know Thyself the most important of these maxims? According to the ancient Greek philosophers, self knowledge was regarded as one of the most fundamental attributes of an accomplished and fulfilling life. By knowing and accentuating your strengths and overcoming your weaknesses, you can apply yourself to actualize your life as you envisioned. Over the centuries, there have been attempts to categorize constitutional and personality types and tendencies in people in order to better understand oneself and others. Examples include the four temperaments of sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic espoused by the Greeks, the three doshas of vata, pitta, and kapha from the Hindus, and the five elements of wood, fire, earth, metal, and water from the Chinese. In the last century, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or simply Myers-Briggs, was the most well-known personality test. The Myers-Briggs is based on the theory proposed by the famous psychiatrist Carl Jung, who speculated that people experience the world using four principal psychological functions: sensation, intuition, feeling, and thinking, and that one of these four functions is dominant for a person most of the time. Myers-Briggs has been used in schools, government, and business settings for many different applications. The interesting part is that the Myers-Briggs test was based on Carl Jung's extensive study of the ancient Taoist oracle of the I Ching, or the Book of Changes. He wrote about the five elements and its five archetypes, of which Chinese arts, sciences, and medicine are all based on. The understanding of the five elements, both in nature, health, and personality, can help us know ourselves in a deeper way and enable us to identify areas to make a change that can have profound impact on our future. We ascribe an adjective to each element. Wood is authoritative, fire is passionate, earth is caring, metal is methodical, and water is wise. So, for example, if you're a wood element and work on improving your patience, you may experience deeper and more meaningful connections with people. If you're a fire element, work on getting better focused may help you stay on task. If you're earth element, work on self-care before serving others may prevent burnout and resentment. If you're a metal element, work on being less perfectionistic may enable better teamwork. And finally, if you're a water element, work on being more forthright may avoid misunderstanding. In the five elements archetype, each person corresponds to a core element, which is your de facto operating system for your life. So it helps to know what that is for you so that you can be supported based on your specific core element. How do you find out what your core element is? Simple. Go to taostar.com, that's T-A-O star.com, and take the Infinite Cheat quiz to find your element. Once you figure out what your element is, you'll be able to understand yourself, your strengths, and your weaknesses. Knowing your element also gives you access to a number of customized tools and products, such as specific herbal formulas, aromatherapy support, and daily health meditations, as well as Qigong, a mind-body practice to help you strengthen and balance your element so that you can leverage your uniqueness in the world while overcoming any weaknesses that you may have. And remember, small change to yourself now can have profound impact on your future, just like the rocket example I gave earlier. A small adjustment to its trajectory and it will end up in a completely different place, just like in your life. Tune in next week for a segment on how to lose the COVID-19 weight that you've gained during the last 6 months. Until then, live long, live strong, and live happy.